Good evening. Welcome to Election Night 2020. Tonight, we have Joe Biden versus the incumbent president, Donald Trump, in the 2020 race. Now it's time for your 7 p.m. poll closings. All the states to your left, their polls have closed. Out of the state of Kentucky, 8 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump. Out of the state of Indiana, Vice President Mike Pence's home state, 11 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump. Georgia's 16 electoral votes are now deemed too close to call. Donald Trump will carry the state of South Carolina's 9 electoral votes. First Democratic winner of the night, Joe Biden is expected to win 3 electoral votes. In Virginia's 13 electoral votes are too close to call. And if you take a look at the current electoral map, Trump is leading with an early lead of 28 to Joe Biden's 3. Now here's your 7:30 p.m. poll closings. All the states to your left, their polls have closed. Out of the state of West Virginia, 5 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump. And here's a surprise. North Carolina, 15 electoral votes are now too close to call. In Ohio, 18 electoral votes are up for grabs, too close to call. And Donald Trump leads with a lead of 33 electoral votes to Joe Biden's 3. Now it's time for your 8 p.m. poll closings. All the states to your left, their polls have closed. Out of the state of Alabama, 9 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump. Out of the state of Maryland, 10 electoral votes will be won by Joe Biden. Out of the state of Pennsylvania, a huge flip from 2016, which cost Hillary Clinton her defeat in 2016, will now be won by the Democrats. 20 electoral votes out of the state of Pennsylvania. Maine at large will be won by Joe Biden, 3 out of their 4 electoral votes. And out of the state of Massachusetts, 11 electoral votes will be won by Joe Biden. Joe Biden will also carry Rhode Island's 4 electoral votes. Now the volunteer state, Tennessee, 11 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump. Donald Trump will also carry the state of Oklahoma, 7 electoral votes. Now in the state of Connecticut, 7 electoral votes will be won by Joe Biden. And Joe Biden will carry 14 electoral votes out of the state of New Jersey. Joe Biden will also carry the state of Delaware, 3 electoral votes. And the nation's capital, the District of Columbia, 3 electoral votes, the most liberal part of the country, will be won by Joe Biden. 4 electoral votes out of the state of New Hampshire. And 20 electoral votes out of the state of Illinois. Donald Trump will carry the state of Mississippi, no surprise here, with 6 electoral votes. And a hotly contested swing state, 29 electoral votes out of the state of Florida are deemed too close to call. No surprise out of the state of Missouri, 10 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump. Now we go into our 8:30 p.m. poll closings. The only state that closes at 8:30 is Arkansas. And in Arkansas, 6 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump. Now it's time for the 9 p.m. poll closings. All your states to the left, their polls have closed. Out of the state of Arizona, 11 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump. Donald Trump will carry Kansas's 6 electoral votes. We're hitting the red wall here. Colorado's 9 electoral votes will be won by Joe Biden. No surprise out of the state of Louisiana, 6 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump. And a huge flip from 2016. Michigan, 16 electoral votes will flip back to the Democratic side. Joe Biden picking up their 16 electoral votes. In Minnesota, 10 electoral votes is too close to call. Nebraska, 4 out of their 5 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump. And New York, 29 electoral votes will be won by Joe Biden. Joe Biden will also pick up New Mexico's 5 electoral votes. And out of North Dakota, 3 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump. And North Dakota goes, so does South Dakota with 3 electoral votes. We're getting a call out of the states of Georgia and Virginia. Virginia's 13 electoral votes will be won by Biden. He is the projected winner. In Georgia, 16 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump. Democrats thought they had a chance in the state, but that doesn't seem to be the case this year. 16 votes will remain in Trump's category. And out of the state of Texas, the second biggest prize in the union, 38 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump. And Wisconsin, another flip from 2016, 10 electoral votes will be won by Joe Biden. Remember, Hillary Clinton narrowly lost this state back in 2016. Joe Biden picking it back up. And out of the state of Wyoming, 3 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump. And now we're getting more calls out of the state of Minnesota and North Carolina. Minnesota's 10 electoral votes will be won by Joe Biden overwhelmingly. North Carolina, another flip from 2016, 15 electoral votes will be won by Joe Biden. Now it's time for the 10 p.m. poll closings. All the states to your left, their polls have closed. Now in the state of Iowa, 6 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump. Out of the state of Montana, another 3 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump. Nevada's 6 electoral votes will be won by Joe Biden. And now we're going to get calls out of Nebraska's 2nd Congressional District and Maine's 2nd Congressional District. And also we got a call from Florida, one of the most hotly contested swing states this year. Out of the state of Nebraska, that 2nd Congressional District will be a Democratic flip from 2016. Joe Biden will flip this one, giving Democrats 1 electoral vote out of the state of Nebraska. Now in the state of Maine, all of Maine has now gone to the Democratic Party tonight. As you can see, Joe Biden has flipped it back. Now all of Maine has gone for the Democratic nominee. Out of the state of Florida, a huge flip from 2016. 29 electoral votes will now be the projected winner is Joe Biden. And if you take a current look at our electoral map, Joe Biden now leads at 246 electoral votes to 189 for Donald Trump. It is now time for the 11 p.m. poll closings. All the states to the left, their polls have closed. Now to say the 55 electoral votes, the biggest prize in the union, will be won by Joe Biden, and we can finally make a presidential call. Joe Biden will be elected the 46th president of the United States with the remaining calls, all of them Democratic. As you can see, Joe Biden has now surpassed the 270 barrier. Is now at 301 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 189. Out of the state of Washington, 12 electoral votes will be won by Joe Biden. Joe Biden will also pick up Oregon's 7 electoral votes. Out of the state of Idaho, a little silver lining for the Donald Trump campaign, 4 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump. While out of the state of Hawaii, President Barack Obama's birth home state will go to Joe Biden. Now it's time for the 1 a.m. poll closings. Only one state closes at 1 a.m. and that is Alaska. Alaska's 3 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump, but it doesn't mean anything because it's past 270 has been cut off. Now it's time for a call out of Ohio. It is 2:25 a.m. No Republican has won the White House without Ohio, but it doesn't matter. Trump won Ohio, but it doesn't mean anything now. 18 electoral votes will be won by Donald Trump by a slim margin. And as you can see from the current electoral map, Joe Biden surpassing 270 with 324 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 214.